While it's only a single page, the sneak peek for Boruto to Vortex Chapter 12 might actually tell us a lot more about this chapter than we initially thought. The obvious thing to point out is the fact that Boruto is fighting Hidari, but I don't think anyone needed a spoiler to see that one coming. What I find more interesting are the specific details of and surrounding this fight. The first thing to note is that Boruto does not appear to be puppy guarding Sarada like he is with Himawari, as he's shown hovering over Himawari while he fights Hidari, while Sarada is nowhere to be found. Assuming she's not just 2 feet to the right, just barely out of the panel, this tells us that Sarada is either fighting alongside Boruto, was told to escape by Boruto, or is just watching from the sidelines, ready to defend herself if need be. Now, like most people, I would definitely prefer to see Sarada fight alongside Boruto here instead of doing nothing, but I think a far more realistic scenario would be to see a combination of some of these options. In character, I can definitely imagine Sarada wanting to help Boruto, but Boruto insisting that Sarada stay out of it in order to protect her, as she is Hidari's target after all. That just feels very in character. However, based on Boruto's struggling performance against the bulk Shinju before the others showed up, as well as another reason I'm going to get into later on, Boruto realistically shouldn't be able to dominate this fight, unless we're supposed to believe that the stick and bulk Shinju is stronger than Hidari. With that in mind, even if Sarada starts the fight on the sidelines, eventually she's going to have to make a choice. Either run away to escape being devoured, or confront Hidari head-on to save Boruto. In character, Sarada would obviously choose to save Boruto. I doubt anyone has any contentions with that. While it is possible that Boruto would tell her to run away so that she could survive, I don't really see the long-term benefit of that, because if Boruto goes down, devoured or not, Sarada is screwed. She can't beat Hidari by herself, not without the Mangekyo anyway. Hidari can just heal all the Chidori Sarada lands, while Sarada can't heal any of the lightning-style sneak attack Hidari lands as we already saw in Chapter 11. And if Hidari managed to defeat Boruto, that just makes it look even worse for Sarada. So besides the obvious fact that Sarada would undoubtedly face Hidari to save Boruto in character, it's literally the most logical decision to make in both the short term and the long term. So if things play out the way I'd like them to, Sarada should eventually join this fight, perhaps debuting her Mangekyo Sharingan into Blue Vortex. As an alternative, Boruto could lose control of his karma during this battle, causing Momoshiki to manifest, or at least for Boruto to go on a mindless rampage, forcing Sarada to step in if she hasn't already in order to stop Boruto. Either way could work. Now there's a lot of behind the scenes story elements pertaining to all of what I've just said, but I'm going to save that for a separate video as I think it's a good solo topic. Moving on though, unless this is supposed to be like the first or second page of the chapter, the fact that Jura and Kawaki don't appear to be here right now indicates that they probably aren't there right now, because Kawaki has probably challenged the newly battle-hungry Jura to a rematch, giving Jura a chance to test his true power like he wanted. I really hope this is the case, as a full power Horn Kawaki versus full power Jura fight would be so awesome to see, arguably cooler than Boruto versus Hidari. It's also nice parallel storytelling, as I can imagine seeing Kawaki solely use his karma powers against Jura, while Boruto solely uses his ninja powers against Hidari, and seeing them both lose here would actually be fantastic storytelling when you consider the central theme of this arc, but that's a topic for another video. Just know that I'm really excited for this as long as they execute it properly. Coming back to Boruto vs Hidari though, a small detail I found extremely interesting is the fact that Boruto didn't use Rasengan Uzuhiko on Hidari. Now I understand this is just a single page and Boruto could have theoretically used it on any other page, but I don't think he did. Boruto has become an extremely efficient fighter. We've seen enough from him to confidently say that. When Boruto is in a hurry, he seems to go straight to whatever move he needs to get the job done, and this was most apparent in his fight against Code. Boruto went straight for the most dangerous attack he's displayed thus far, Rasengan Uzuhiko. Not a sucker punch to the gut like with Kawaki, not a sword to the neck like with Mitsuki, not a wind-style breakthrough like with Hidari, a Rasengan Uzuhiko. I can understand not using that jutsu on Mitsuki and Kawaki, but why not use it on Hidari? Especially when doing so might end the fight right then and there. Based on Boruto's explanation in the description for the jutsu on the Naruto website, there's no reason why it shouldn't work on the Shinju. They have bodies, a sense of balance, and exist on the planet the same as everyone else, and changing dimensions doesn't alleviate its effects as shown with Code. So why not use it on Hidari? Or at the very least, why not try it on Hidari? It's not like Boruto can't land a hit on him. He literally does in the spoiler panel for the wind-style breakthrough jutsu, and even Sarada managed to land a Chidori on him, so I don't think that's the issue here. Instead, I think Boruto simply can't use the Rasengan Uzuhiko right now. Boruto seems fairly fatigued. While Chapter 5 seems like it probably takes place the day after Chapter 4, all the subsequent chapters appear to happen on the same day, meaning Boruto had to fight Sage Mitsuki the day after fighting Koden in the Shinju, then fought Kawaki shortly afterwards, and is fighting Hidari now. For such an overpowered jutsu, a good drawback to it would be that he can only use it once per day, or that it costs him a lot of chakra so he can't use it unless he's completely fresh, meaning he either can't use it at all right now, or he's purposely saving it for Jura instead of Hidari. Either way, this would further raise the tension in this fight, because not only is Boruto running low on chakra, he can't use his strongest ability in this fight, an ability that very well might be the best and only solution Boruto currently has to defeat the Shinju, as they can regenerate from normal damage. I definitely like this idea if this is indeed what they're going for, or at least something along those lines. This can also play into what should be a major loss for Boruto, as he wouldn't be able to use the jutsu that would ordinarily allow him to win the fight, which not only works narratively for a variety of reasons I want to get into in a separate video, but can also be a catalyst for Sarada getting the opportunity to return the favor and save Boruto this time, possibly via Himawari Sharingan, which initially awakened out of desperation to save Boruto at the end of part 1. I see potential in all this so far. Now the last thing I want to touch on is in regards to pacing. I'll get into this in more detail another time, but this arc started in chapter 5 and the midpoint was in chapter 9, meaning we had 5 chapters heading into the midpoint of this arc. This means we can expect another 5 chapters or so after the midpoint, meaning the arc will probably around chapter 14 or so, though I'd like to see this arc be a little back and heavy and drawn out to chapter 15 or 16 if possible. The reason I bring this up though is because Boruto vs Hidari is what's known as the second battle in the later parts of Act 2, which is not long before the major twist and disaster moment at the very end of Act 2. I bring this up because Boruto vs Hidari seems to be the major event of chapter 12, where the arc very well might end in chapter 14. If that is indeed the case and Ikimoto keeps his current theme of very quick fights going, there's a pretty good chance that chapter 12 will end with a major twist and disaster moment as the chapter cliffhanger, where chapters 13 and 14 would probably consist of the final battle resulting from that twist and the resolution that follows. All of this is to say that chapter 12 might end with something really cool, something like a Jura reveal or a Momoshiki manifestation, either of which I'll be extremely excited to see, though I would prefer to see Momoshiki come out if I had to pick, which is also another topic for another video. I have way too many video ideas at this point, but anyway, I want to hear what you guys think. What are you expecting to see from Sarada in this chapter or perhaps in chapter 13? Do you think she'll help fight Hidari? Will she stop Momoshiki to save Boruto? Will she debut her Mangekyo Sharingan to 2 Blue Vortex? Or will she just stand there and do nothing? Do you think we'll get to see Kawaki face Jura using the Karma Seal at full power? And do you think the chapter will end with a major cliffhanger like Momoshiki manifesting? Thanks for watching till the end. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and hit the noti bell if you haven't already. Check out my other channels and Discord in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time.